Thank you very much. His Excellency, the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federation, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, His Excellency, the Governor of Adamawa State, the chief host and the convener of this gathering, another anti-corruption crusader, Ancheda Makion Gaji Ubansa, Governor Bindo Gaji Buhari. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together for him? Their Excellencies, the Executive Governors of Bauchi and Kaduna State, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Deputy Governor of Adamawa State, distinguished senators and members of the House of Representatives here present.
Hello viewers there, a very warm welcome once more. This is the banquet hall, Government House, Yola and Adamawa State, where President Muhammadu Buhari, accompanied by distinguished members of his entourage, is expected to declare open an anti-corruption summit convened by the Adamawa State government. Just a while ago, the President, after arrival at the Yola International Airport, has proceeded to the palace of His Royal Highness Lamido Fombina Dr. Ali Mustafa, where he paid homage on the Royal Father and later on commissioned some road projects, specifically the Dogire Road Network constructed by the Muhammad Umar Jibrila administration in Adamawa State. Highlights of the President's visit is this anti-corruption summit that he is expected to declare open shortly here in the sunshine city of Yola, the Adamawa State capital, the second home to Mr. President, next only to his native Daura. This summit is specifically convened to align with the policies and programs of Mr. President with respect to his stance on anti-corruption. Once more, welcome back to the live transmission of the Nigerian Television Authority, broadcasting from Yola, the Adamawa State capital.
Mr. President, with your kind permission, I would like to invite the representative of the Christian Association of Nigeria and the Muslim Council to lead us in an opening prayer. With your kind permission, Mr. President, I want to go ahead and invite them to lead us in prayer. Thank you for giving me that permission, Mr. President.
صلوا على النبي اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد Allah muna roƙonka da sunayenka kyawawa Allah muna roƙonka da siffofinka madaukaka ubangiji Allah ka sanya albarka mai yawa a cikin wannan taro Allah ka sanya albarka mai yawa a cikin wannan taro ubangiji Allah ka yi wa shugabannin mu jagoranci Allah ka yafe mana kurakuran mu ka karba mana ayyukan mu na alkhairi Allahumma aslih lana dinana alladhi huwa ismatu amrina wa aslih lana dunyana allati fiha ma'ashuna wa aslih lana akhiratana allati ilayha ma'aduna waj'al al-hayata ziyadatan lana fi kulli khair wal mauta rahatan lana min kulli shar اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In Jesus' name, our Lord and our God, we give you praise and thanks for a time like this that brought together to reason together. We want to thank you for the self-journey mercy you granted our president and all of us. We want to thank you for your goodness. We want to thank you for your mercies. We want to thank you for your love. We want to thank you for your care. Our gathering here with our political leaders, our traditional leaders, our senior civil servants and junior civil servants, our security people, is to put our heads together, to reason together, to fight a common goal, to defeat this demon of corruption. Father, we want to thank you for this vision you have given our president, and we today in Adamawa State, we have joined him in fighting corruption. As we put our effort together, we are praying the Lord give us success. We are praying at this meeting, as we interact together, it is our desire at the end of everything, we will be blessed by you. As we end this meeting, you will take us back to our destination safely. And we pray once more for our president, that God may continue to give him good health, continue to give him good visions, continue to give him further understanding to lead this great country to a higher level. We thank you because you will do that and you continue to help him. Thank you for our governor. Thank you for the vision also catch up. Give him the grace, give him the ability. This is our prayer and desire from you, Lord. For we ask all things through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency the President, we have invited you here to change the narrative slightly. You've been acknowledged as an anti-corruption fighter in Nigeria. You've been acknowledged in Africa as an anti-corruption fighter. You've been made the icon of the African Union anti-corruption fight. But we believe, Mr. President, that the anti-corruption crusade cannot be complete unless it is accepted at the grassroots level. We in Adamawa have accepted that battle. We have fought it spiritedly, and led by our leader, Governor Muhammad Umaru Jibrilla Bindo, we have every right to beat our chest and tell you that Adamawa State is corruption-free. Your Excellency, I want to tell you that today, yesterday you said a time will come when they will ask people whether certain properties belong to them, and they will say no. Everybody who is working in Adamawa State under Governor Muhammad Umaru Jibrilla Bindo, if they show him his property, he will tell you it's his property because it's legitimately earned. That is the hallmark of the leadership of Governor Muhammad Umaru Jibrilla Bindo. Your Excellency, you are not only connected with Bindo in fighting corruption, but you are also connected because you left Daura and came to Yola to pick a wife. He left Yola and went to Daura to pick a wife. At this juncture, Your Excellency, may I quickly request and invite the chairman of this very important gathering, an elder statesman of repute, Alhaji Ahmed Joda, to please come and deliver his opening remarks. Ahmed Joda, for the information of this gathering, is the only person that has been the transitional committee chairman of President Obasanjo in 1999 and President Buhari in 2015. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present Ahmed Joda to you.
Your Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Your Excellency, the Governor of Adamawa State, Muhammadu Umaru Jibrilla Bindo. I have been advised to stand by the rest of the established protocols. It is my great honor, privilege, and pleasure to be chairman of this occasion. It is a unique occasion for us because our president, in spite of his crowded schedule, has taken time to honor us. But it is not surprising that given his commitment and passion to the eradication of corruption in our country, the president's visits here also is not just one of such presidential visits. It is an answer to a home call of a son kept away by the national call to duty. We welcome him. I want to acknowledge the Governor, Muhammad Umaru Jibril Bindo, for making this visit possible, and also for his leadership and his efforts in uniting our people in the common pursuit of happiness, togetherness, and progress. I urge him to persevere. I welcome the governors of Bauchi and Kaduna for their comradeship and for their being here. The topic which brings us together is corruption, the curse of our country and our society. President Buhari identified corruption as the greatest enemy to us and to the continued existence of our country. In his campaign for election into the office he now holds, he repeatedly hammered on his determination to fight corruption, to revive the economy, and to defeat insurgency. We are all witnesses to the progress that is being made. The Nigerian people believed him and the party he leads. God and the people of Nigeria entrusted him with the welfare and well-being of the nearly 200 million people of Nigeria and the hope of all Africa and the black man around the world. This trust by God and by Nigerians he swore to uphold as President of the Federal Republic. President Buhari could never have imagined that the task of fighting corruption, restoring the comatose economy, and the treasury that is empty, or that security which had been battered for years would be easy to face, to fight, and to conquer. In the Nigeria of the 70s and 80s, corruption on a scale that could never have been imagined engulfed the nation and has continued to grow. Many became rich and very powerful, some even more powerful than the state they looted and left bare. Over those years, society values were jettisoned and made irrelevant. Laws, rules, and regulations were thrown overboard. Impunity took over and thrived. Public institutions, the civil services, the military, the police became irrelevant, politicized, and compromised. The justice system has proved unable, perhaps unwilling, to deal with corruption. Otherwise, how can we explain that corruption cases that go far back to 2003 remain undetermined, and almost all the cases since the beginning of this dispensation remain in the courts unresolved? Even our way of life have become fertile ground for the instability we now suffer. Look at the number of our children, those that we bring to this world with no intention to give them the home bringing, without care, without love. The Almajiris, officially more than 10 million of them, live in the streets uncared for, unloved, and forgotten. They are left to the dangers inherent in undesirable environments. These are the Boko Harams, the kidnappers. They infest our society. All that I have said is the result of corruption. Those who have become corrupt through the abuse of public office are the cause of our poverty and our economic and social stagnation. They are our enemies. They are the class of people we have mandated President Muhammadu Buhari to fight and to defeat. We must support the President in his determination to bring corruption under control. But I have the following suggestion to make for the summit to consider. That we recognize that the home is where character can begin to be formed and molded. At the feet of the mother and the father, and if possible, the grandmother in a loving home. We must strengthen the home, the neighborhood communities, and the social environment. We must create the conducive environment for our children to grow and mature as responsible citizens. The school, the primary, the secondary, and the university are the places where children grow, learn, develop, and form their character. Unfortunately, the quality of our education does not develop these ideals. A successful war against corruption and all forms of crime must begin in our educational institutions. The battle against corruption must be taken to the ivory tower, which unfortunately is also infested as any of our institutions. I suggest that while still fighting corruption as our laws stipulate, we now pay greater attention to the development of an honest society, beginning, as I have said, from the home, through the school, and into the workplace. We must wage the war on all fronts, not only in our unwilling courts. We must use our institutions, such as the National Orientation Agency, to enable and to empower and to mount a sustained national campaign in which we are all stakeholders and because we are all affected. Mr. President, sir, I thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.
Can we please properly put our hands together for Alhaji Ahmed Jonah? Mr. President, we quickly go to the high point of this gathering. May I request and invite my own brother, the Secretary to the Government of Adamawa State, the roundabout, the engine room, the man who is the repository of everything we do in the governance process. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Dr. Umar Buba Binder, SSG Adamawa State.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner for Information. Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. Before I start, sir, with your approval, I want to request everybody to recognize our father, our in-law, and our guest today, as the first ever anti-corruption champion in Africa. Your Excellency, I want to crave your indulgence and approval again to just write on the protocols that have already been read out, with respect, Your Excellency, sir. Now, this is the first Adamawa State Anti-Corruption Summit. The theme of this summit is performance-based governance, transparency, accountability, and social value. My name is Dr. Umar Bindir. I'm an engineer by profession, and I'm very loyal to the governor, and I'm not really corrupt. My assignment by my boss is that I should very, very briefly, Your Excellency, deliver to you this paper titled Delivery of Good Governance Through Innovative Anti-Corruption Practices, the Adamawa State Model. Now, the philosophy of this presentation naturally will do a little bit comparisons of past administrations. But I can tell you, Your Excellency, this presentation literally focuses on the principles and public expectations of good governance. And therefore, I have to declare in front of you, Your Excellency, that this presentation is not really a whistleblowing project. Your Excellency, the anti-corruption content of my presentation here is that we will dwell on ensuring that institutions function. We will dwell on the respect of the rule of law, particularly when it comes to the Appropriation Act, and then we will dwell also on the good governance of politics, where we will demonstrate that we are sincere, we are fair, we are very well coordinated, and we are working as a team. Your Excellency, Adamawa State, just in a brief, land of beauty, located in the northeast. It has nearly 4 million people. It has wide cultural and ethnic diversity. The two major religions occupy our belief, and the APC government is the reigning government in our state. These are the 3 senatorial districts, the 8 federal constituencies, and this color code presents to Your Excellency the areas under control of our traditional fathers. Now, to give you very briefly, Governor Bindo's anti-corruption model, we will touch a little bit of the past, what we're doing now, and where we're heading to next. Your Excellency, you recall when you came here, back in 2014, 2015, you trusted this young man as our flag bearer, and he demonstrated to you, like he demonstrated today, that he has a very wide following, which literally is taking advantage of your popularity as well. And then we got a huge number of people to queue up, women and men, and then the two of you were elected. And I'm happy to report to you, we gave you and this young man 100% support. Your Excellency, when you were inaugurated, you yourself, you gave us the template of leadership. You said we face enormous challenges, insecurity, and pervasive corruption. And you pushed our morale very high by saying that we can fix our problems. You also said that you will ensure that the gross corruption at the local level is checked. And then you submitted that you will try to ensure that there is responsible and accountable governance at all levels of government in this country. And finally, in your speech, Your Excellency, you said, "For I will not have kept my own trust with the Nigerian people if I allow others to abuse theirs under my watch." Now, Your Excellency, our governor, when he was being sworn in, all the values that you have released through your inaugural speech was literally a carbon copy. We were even scared that the intellectual property regime will catch up with us because he was reading literally exactly the same. When you refer to states, he will refer to local government. When you refer to all Nigerians, he will refer to all the people of Adamawa State. And then we commenced the good governance. You know, he copied from you too, working very closely with his deputy. In fact, you can see them. They are wearing same gowns, same hats, and Your Excellency, I was there. They were even wearing the same shoes in color. So the team was hired, and we formed the APC government, and our governor is ready to lead. He called us in an executive council meeting, and he said to us, the first lecture he gave to us, he said, look, if you reflect on this state, we are well educated, and our leaders have always been well educated and experienced. We have united traditional institutions. We have intense agriculture production culture. We are diverse and ample solid mineral resources. We have a young population averaging 19. We have fertile, flat arable land. We have ample energy resources. We have vast freshwater resources. And Your Excellency, our governor submitted that this state has the potential to be one of the most successful and prosperous states in Nigeria, looking at these things. However, when you look at the realities, the many challenges that is facing Adamawa State is actually surprising. First, when we came in 2014, the poverty incidence in this state averages nearly 70%, meaning out of every 100 people in Adamawa State, 70 are actually below the poverty line, which is not very good. Secondly, we inherited weak institutions, an economically challenged system. Our physical and social infrastructure were nearly collapsed. We have very weak entrepreneurial culture. This is one of those civil service states. And then because of all these, we've also inherited high youth restiveness, and with our communities and tribes literally being very, very divisive. And so when you compare these two, Your Excellency, you tend to ask questions, what is wrong with Adamawa State? Is it your politics? Is it the leadership? Is it the governance? And so on and so forth. So we wanted to check these questions one after the other, starting with the politics, leadership, and governance. Your Excellency, I'm not happy to report to you that from 2007 to 2015, when we came in, we are the only state that had 8 administrations within the period of 8 years. This is a big challenge. It produced bitter politics for us. It demonstrated bad governance and insincerity for us. It disunited us. It misused and wasted a lot of resources, and so on and so forth. And then, if you go to the other factors, physical discipline, budgeting, appropriation, and so on and so forth, we studied all the budgets from 1999 to 2015. We got all the documentation. And when we looked at these documents, the budgeting was not based on the fiscal responsibility of setting targets of how much are you getting from federal government? What is the value of your IGR? How much are the capital receipts in terms of grants put together to guide our budgeting? This was not the principle. We looked at it again, we saw that when you look at ministry by ministry, the budgets were template based. They are so fed up that they will just fill in the form and all the budgets are repetitive, and so on and so forth, Your Excellency. We looked at the available human resources that we had to drive the state. We realized that the civil service is undermined and the institutions are weak. There is so much undue political interference, and the civil servants were so demoralized, even though they are very, very well educated. In fact, if you look at the bill of the secretariat, it tells you all the story. And when moved into the secretariat, you see that every ministry has their own generator, and literally every ministry has their own borehole, transmitting that resources are not well utilized. We looked at the available financial resources, and then we realized that since 1999 to 2017, the receipts we got in this state is nearly ₦1 trillion. But 70% of these resources were actually captured in recurrent, and very little was applied in that. So I show to you, Your Excellency, graphically, this is the total receipts. And you can see that initially, 1999 to 2007, there's a small hill developing, and then we had a huge mountain, and when we came, we literally started with a rock. And this is the expenditure, 70%, and then with the profile, then capital is very, very weak. We looked at the MDS and their projects. When we came, there were nearly 100 MDS, but when we checked the budgets, there were only 14 that were actually used and reused, meaning that all the others are not particularly well utilized. The key projects, we studied them,
and we realized that the projects were mostly unappropriated for. Expenditure was completely out of the budget. There were no procurement compliance. Some of the projects were overpriced and inflated, wrongful or overpayments, low project quality, non-existent or white elephant projects, low monitor and evaluation, and there are many projects paid for but completely abandoned. In addition to these research realities, Your Excellency, I'm now preaching to the converted. We inherited a state that had been ravaged by Boko Haram. Physical infrastructure completely smashed, opportunities for employment dealt with, religious institutions damaged, and the people had to move, and all of them ended in the IDPs. This is, everybody knows. We checked and checked again and realized that Adamawa faces worst seasonal flooding irrespective of what happens, because the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon, Your Excellency, always gets released, and the first port of call for this water is Adamawa State. And we always experience that. This creates more IDPs and destroys more infrastructure. And you can see, even in Jimeta, when we came in, this was the kind of flooding. We were also, when we came in, witnessing minor and major clashes, including the farmers and herdsmen clashes. Some of the physical infrastructure, these were the roads when we inherited in Yola, the state capital. And the associated financial effects, we did not inherit anything. We inherited high personnel wage bill, heavy contractual liabilities, many ISPOs, in addition to low IGR and very low federal allocation. So our clear resolution, after putting all this together, if we want better things for the citizens of Adamawa State, if we want a reformed state, if we want to activate its fortunes, if we want a modern state, if we want a better tomorrow, then we should listen to Albert Einstein, who said, it is only a fool who will continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome, meaning that the change mantra is born. So, we have to set our vision and mission. We use the triple helix. We said to the people of Adamawa State, we'll give you fantastic political leadership. Because yes, APC won, but we are now the leaders of every single citizen in Adamawa State. We did not create those gaps. We will give you economic leadership because we'll try to utilize resources very, very effectively. We'll give you technical leadership because we'll be very, very prudent and so on and so forth. So based on this, Your Excellency, we produce the stamp of our government. BSc, everybody knows, is Bachelors of Science, but in Adamawa State, we changed it to B stands for Bindo, our leader, S stands for social, to do with people, C stands for change, the APC mantra. Actually, we created a stamp. I have to tell you the truth, Your Excellency. It was initially Buhari for social change, and then it became Bindo for social change. Because the deputy governor is Nasir Babale, it could quite easily, after Bindo, become Babale for social change. And because I'm SSG, my surname is Bindir, it could be Bindir for social change. And so it's all happening. So literally what it means is we have to do things differently. We have thorough strategic consultations, Your Excellency, because we inherited a government that is completely dislodged. We have to talk to people. We spoke to the party to enhance our effectiveness. We spoke to all the senior politicians from Adamawa State very closely to share these experiences. We called the 25 state legislators to talk to them to minimize the executive-legislature relationship. We called all the traditional rulers and talked to them so that as custodians of the grassroots, they should understand our problems and where we're heading to. We called the religious leaders, the military people, NGOs, and we even called all the commissioners and the associated permanent secretaries, ward councillors, and all the local government chairmen. And indeed, Your Excellency, every month in this hall, we used to have a town hall meeting to let our communities know. So this is our agenda to set everybody to be as a team. Now, to unleash the leadership energy, Your Excellency, we have to now advise our Excellency to say, look, we have elected 3 senators. They are in Abuja. They must also be part of this. We elected 8 House of Reps, 25 assemblymen, 21 local government chairmen and vice chairmen, 226 ward councillors. Our people must hold these people responsible. And that is why, Your Excellency, we produce a booklet. This booklet has the name of every elected person in Adamawa State, his constituency, and his telephone number, and we share this booklet free to all Adamawa people. Call your leader and hold him responsible if something is going wrong. So, Your Excellency, we realized that we needed a strategy. Therefore, we had to evolve a strategic plan. And His Excellency said at the time, there's no money. I'm not going to get consultants coming from Lagos or Abuja. Dr. Bindi, you said we have intellectuals, use them. So I called them into a room. In fact, somebody donated this venue. And in 3 months, Your Excellency, we produced a totally indigenous 15-year Adamawa State Development Master Plan 2016 to 2030. And this is the book. And Your Excellency, everybody who has come here will get this 600-page book. In this book, Your Excellency, very, very clearly, after being commissioned by the governor, we have immediate-term things, we have short-term things, we have medium-term things, and we have things that we can even implement in our second tenure. Your Excellency, then we have to look for, go ahead with this plan, inoculate the institutions, and we have our own institutional reforms, particularly the civil service, the budgeting system, the procurement system. In fact, we standardized a process. I had an agreement with His Excellency the Governor. Please, Governor, any file that comes to you, make sure that since I am loyal and I'm not corrupt, I have checked it and signed. And therefore, Your Excellency, we do not implement any project if it does not have a vote of charge in the budget. And if you want, you can go to anywhere. His Excellency gives me the protection, and I could do these things correctly. Your Excellency, we restructured the civil service to respond to our need. This road into that secretariat that you saw, we changed it. And when you enter the secretariat, it's looking dilapidated. We changed it, and we continue to change it. This alone re-energized the civil servants and motivated them, and we started seeing fantastic response. Your Excellency, in addition to this at the beginning, I want to specially, on behalf of the Governor and the government, thank you for the palliatives that you have sent. The Paris Club, the bailout funds, I'm happy to report to you, Your Excellency, that more than 80% of these resources have been used to pay salaries. Today, the state civil servants do not owe the government 1 kobo. 100% we are moving forward. At the local government, yes, we are working with trying to make sure that our data is sharpened and so on, and so it's a continuous process. But to balance the whole local government staff, education workers, health workers, approximately we need another 4 billion, which soon, with the improvement of fortunes, we are going to balance. Or probably when we get another bailout check, Your Excellency. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, when you send us relief material, I have to report to you that the Deputy Governor is in charge of this. Every single bag of rice, every blanket goes to people who deserve it. Anybody who is reporting to you that there are changes we do is not telling the truth. The farmers had those clashes, Your Excellency. We thank you for sending the Vice President to come directly to go to the areas, and also for increasing the presence of military and police to quench these problems. Your Excellency, we also thank you for the PCNI medical outreach that have been done. We have targeted 15,000 returnees in medical requirements. We've consulted 8,000 patients. We've performed nearly 140 surgeries. We've performed nearly 160 eye operations, and it's working, Your Excellency. So, finally, we take off. But our takeoff literally is the divine takeoff. Our Malams came to pray for us. Our Christian leaders came to pray for us. Even governors, when they came here to visit us, they were praying for us. And then the leadership of the National Assembly came here. It was again prayers. Then our own traditional leadership, we go to them for the Salah and Christmas is prayers. Yourself, Your Excellency, even when you came, you prayed for us. And this ignited the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom in this state. Our leader, number 1, is the fear of God. So this ignited our can-do spirit. In addition to his businessman orientation, we realized that the opportunities we have in this state can actually, if you use our know-how, transform this state from a failed state to a state of prosperity. We are vibrant, we are strongly educated, we have a lot of agriculture, water resources, energy resources, opportunities to diversify our economy, investment potentials. We know a lot of people. We have rich cultural heritage. Our Fulanis, our people from Mubi, from Maiha, from the Bachama area, and many more. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency, Adamawa State is the only state in Nigeria that can reenact Festac, because we have all it takes, and we will do that, and we'll invite you. You'll come and open it for us. So what is this Bindo administration doing with all this? Our approach is we go systematically. We choose things strategically. And all this is part of our strategy. We chose physical infrastructure, roads, and then we go to social infrastructure, education, and health, and then we do empowerment. Now, all our roads, you can see that from there, Your Excellency, we came in June, but by July, we've already started due process advertisements. That is how we comply with everything. We refuse to award contracts to any road construction company if you do not have processing facilities in Adamawa State, and you must have equipment. That is the basis, and we selected who can do work for us. And connecting to the politics, any project we start, Your Excellency, we go to the communities. We connect with them. We do a little bit of politicking, and then they wish as well. That was how we started. You can see we started very modestly. We go to places where there are no roads before. Our own earthwork and excavations are real. We do all the earth filling, and you can see we're doing all our concrete drainages. All these concrete drainages, as you see later, very quickly I'll close, are all still reinforced. And we do the priming properly. We do our own surface dressing, and finally we do asphalting. This is the value chain of our delivery. This is Julius Berger standard. In fact, it's German standard in simple terms. Because you can see, Your Excellency, reinforcement is real. We are not joking here. And now, even bad contracts that we have inherited, there are projects that people have been paid and then they run away because it is past administration. We don't do the viciousness. Go to EFCC and fight for, no, we call you back, we assess the payment made to you, we invite you as a contractor as a discussion, we renegotiate the contract, and then you return to site or we go to court. And then most of them take advantage of returning to site. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency, this road, as you've seen, you are on it to go to Yola. It was one of those roads that we called the contractor to come back, we renegotiated, and they went back and they delivered this quality infrastructure for our people. Sample progress report, Your Excellency. This I'll run through very quickly. There was no road. You can check that, that roof there. And you see, before you say Michael Jackson, we finished this road and the house is still there. This is again another example. You see that post there, we were on work, we have finished it in twin. This one here, you can see that house with the post, Your Excellency. There was no road, we finished the road and delivered. Here, you can see, Your Excellency, that wall, there was no road, we finished the road and delivered, Your Excellency. Here again, you can see this wall, there was actually a pit. It was like a pond. We sealed it and delivered a road. Here, another area, you can see that house, that's the house. There was no road, we delivered, Your Excellency. This is, it continues on and on and on of the befores and afters. And when you come to look at some of the infrastructure, you can see is highly innovative. This is Shelleng Road. This road has defied all administrations for the past 6 years. We came and we delivered this road as well. This is one of the sample positions. That's the Honorable Speaker, because sometimes he doesn't believe that it can be done. He goes there to confirm. He went with the member coming from Shelleng. Well, Bindo said, this is nothing to us. We went in there, we put the contractors, they started the earthworking, and today, the Amna of Shelleng took only 15 minutes to come here. A road that used to take him many hours. Your Excellency, you can see this position here used to be totally flooded. That room there, we went there and then sealed the road and drained it. Your Excellency, this place here was completely, totally unmotorable. We drained it and we delivered infrastructure for people. So, and when we finish this road, we deliberately beautify them, we put electricity there, and you can see Abuja people, when they come at night in Yola, they get lost because we have changed. Now, we are even targeting to become the capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our culverts and bridges, we are working very hard to standard specification, Your Excellency. I'll rush through this so that you can just see that the expenditure we do. Our gates are practical. Some of the further roundabouts are fantastic. Our people are excited. And I'm telling you, even in rural areas, we went to do the rural roads. We changed them where we used to went for campaign. There were no roads. Today, the rural roads are looking fantastic. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency through this adventure. Today, we have finished 306 township roads. We have finished 22 rural roads. They are high-quality infrastructure that can withstand anywhere and tear for at least 25 years, and so on and so forth. And we are happy to report to Your Excellency that we are very fair in distributing projects. The fact that the governor is from Mubi, the deputy governor is from Tongo, and I am from Yola does not mean that we should concentrate projects in our areas. Every local government has had a feeling of this. And we do this technically. We don't just design roads. We use Google Maps to know where these roads pass, and we mark them out. Before we go, we know exactly what it is. And the secret in the implementation of the change mantra for us to achieve this is field monitoring. I can honestly tell you, Your Excellency, the governor himself and all of us following him, we used to go to site and monitor very closely. Sometimes even our premier ruler follows him to actually go encouraging the workers and encouraging the people. And the governor will give speech on the road, the media will follow him, he breaks security protocol and then starts shaking hands he buys his fruit on the road, and I'm happy to report to you that we have produced the happiest children in West Africa, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the cost savings, we have a lot of cost savings, and if we compare our administration and other administrations, there are the details are there, Your Excellency. The first one, in 1999 to 2007, one typical road contract, total number of 10 roads contracted, only one was in the budget. And I can tell you, by the time you go through, you will see the inefficiency there. Second administration, 2007 to 2015, total of 60 contracts awarded, only 10 were budgeted for, and none actually went through the due process. Again, so much wastages. And that is why the quality of those facilities are like that. But when it comes to the Bindo administration, 2015 to 2017, total number of contracts awarded, 90. Number of projects budgeted for, 90. Due process compliance, 100%. And this is a record that we want to set and report to Your Excellency. There are visible outcomes. When we came in, there were only 15 keke napeds in the whole of Yola. 5 working in Jimeta, 5 working in Yola, and 5 were with the mechanics, Your Excellency. And today, I'm happy to report that we have more than 2,000 keke napeds employing people. We've also had a lot of people coming back with their resources to invest. Today, Adamawa and Yola is a metropolis. Your Excellency, also the quality of the roads has now injected a new opportunity for us. Young people in Adamawa State are roller skating. I want to promise you, the next Winter Olympics, we will have a team from Adamawa State because our roads. So, other sectors, Your Excellency, in education, dilapidated when we came in. This, you can see this. This was a young chap in secondary school, that is his bed. And these are girls, these are their hostels. And the governor, this is an examination hall. The governor stood there, cried, and then coming back, he declared the education in a state of emergency. Today, we are changing the schools. This is now current schools. We are working very seriously on the education. You can see the before and after. This was one of the schools we visited. Today, that's the infrastructure. This was one of the admin blocks in one of the schools. Today, that is what we have there. This is one of the schools in GDSS Demsa. Today, that is that classroom. And we continue to do that. Even informal education, the Almajiri education, Your Excellency, we know it captures you right from the word go. But when you look at these children, and there are 12, in the next 10 years, there will be 22. Do nothing to this, and then even Boko Haram will be a small thing. So what we did, Your Excellency, we noted all this. We wanted to see whether administrations have done to do with Almajiris. We visited some of these schools. We got in. We saw that it has not changed. So His Excellency assigned us to look at it technologically. We look at the allo, and then I am actually the chairman of that committee. I took the allo to my house. I used a bit of my workshop tools, and today I'm happy to report to Your Excellency, we've produced an allo with an iPad on it. This is now going to take the Almajiri education to the next level. And now, in case people are thinking that this is an opportunity to invest, this technology is patented, and if you want to invest, you have to talk to us. But we are developing the product very seriously. Healthcare, the governor is working on it, Your Excellency, delivering primary healthcare. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency, we have 403 primary healthcare centers. They are all fully functional 24/7, all with laboratory facilities, functional water facilities, and so on and so forth. In fact, the World Bank has declared the primary healthcare facility in Adamawa State as #1 in the nation. courtesy of our work. So all this is part of the work. In agriculture, we are doing the traditional things, supplying mechanization and inputs, and we have empowered our system to totally respond to that. We are also one of the high flyers of your Anchor Borrowers program. Our committee is the best committee in Nigeria. That's what we were told. And we train thousands, and we're producing rice. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency today, Adamawa State is the largest producer of rice. What Kebbi does is they come here to buy raw rice, take it to Kebbi, polish it, and then they sell it. So we have investors here. Investors, Husky and Williams, are now bringing 8.5 billion naira investment in Demsa to actually do that. In housing, His Excellency is working very well to make sure that civil servants have houses. Empowerment, you recall, Your Excellency, through the Office of the SGF, you sent some of these. We have implemented it judiciously, and we have partnered with the House of Assembly members, all of them who are here, to deliver various community development projects. We are happy with that. We are using our technical training centers, 10 of them, the best in Nigeria, to train young people in very, very highly employable trades and skills. Your Excellency, even the justice sector, we have had a lot of reforms and firsts, and we are the first state to actually get a conviction of a former governor on the basis of corrupt practices to the extent that he was taken to jail. Social welfare, they said behind every successful man, there is a very powerful, influential, not only successful, but very insisting woman. His Excellency's wife is there too, doing fantastic projects for many of our week. We have reactivated the NYSC that used to be an IDP center. We've resettled most of the IDP centers. We've reopened the NYSC camping, and everybody is happy. We have a special project, Your Excellency, and we call it Public Traditional Partnership, borrowing from the PPP. We have PTP. And what we have is that we realize that in addition to these 8 first-class emirs and chiefs you see here, below them, we have 104 district heads. Below those, we have 718 village heads. Below those, we have 7,810 ward heads and hundreds of title holders. We believe that these people are connected to the rural and the grassroots. We wanted to energize it. So what we did was we flagged out a program. All the district heads will get a 15,000 naira per month monitoring evaluation allowance. All the village heads will take 10,000. The Mayangwas will get a 5,000. The total bill every month is 50,000. And what do we do with them? We said we train them with special tools, 50 million, sorry. We train them with special tools. Every Mayangwa will get a form with 7 indices. One picture is people looking like they're going to do boxing. That means there's a fight in your Angwa. Every single day they will report. And then we have another picture, a mother carrying a baby. They will tick if there's a birth, death, and so on and so forth. So this tool, we created a comprehensive database of everybody with their telephone numbers and everything. We have weekly reports coming from the Mayangwas. The village heads will get monthly report. The district heads will submit monthly report to the emir and chief, and we get this report. We do this because every time there is insecurity, we don't act until somebody is dead or a village is burned. Through this tool, we know what is going to happen before it even happens, Your Excellency. So our ICT infrastructure is fantastic, it's working well. Our IGR enhancement, Your Excellency, when we came in, it was 150 to 250 million per month. I'm happy to report to Your Excellency that we have raised, just by blocking leakages and corrupt practices, our IGR is now between 700 to 850 million per month. So, because this is how we did it. Now, meeting communities, Your Excellency, our Executive Council, we have a record. In 52 weeks of a year, we have met 47 last year. The year before, we have met 43 times. And we do not hold our Executive Council only in Yola. We will hold it one today, like this one here is in Gire local government. We will go into a primary school and we'll meet. When we go, it's another local government. This gives us an opportunity to meet the people and see what is there. And then the public confidence, because of what we have done, people, the World Bank have come here with their team. We have erased the fear of Boko Haram. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The Vice President came here, he mingled with ordinary people. He commissioned some projects, and he literally told the governor and everybody that Adamawa is the best state in Nigeria. Apologies to Governor of Kaduna State and Bauchi State. And this is it's recorded. Finally, Your Excellency, before I stop, I want to demonstrate to you that this gentleman, our governor, wants to break the barrier. And he is not just working in Adamawa State. He said, I am thinking out of the box, and I want us to start thinking about a regional development strategy. He said, if you watch, the palliatives we get in the Northeast, it's all about rice, spaghetti, indomie, blankets, and so on. If we continue doing this, there's no way we can overcome this. So he said, look, these 6 states, we share similar challenges. And if I were to get all the governors together, irrespective of party sensitivity, so that we think together, so that we can change our region to take advantage of the opportunities we have, so that we can attain what everybody wants. And the project, Your Excellency, using the 6 states is as follows. If you're coming from Jos, if you hit Bauchi, there's a roundabout. If you go left, you go to Yobe, and you go to Borno State, you come back to Adamawa. From Ngurore there, you can even go to Tongo, into Taraba, and then back to Numan, and then you come back through Gombe to the same spot. It's actually a roundabout. It's only one road. And the governor said, is it possible that this particular road will become a dual carriageway like you see in Abuja? Okay? Even if it takes. Now, not just the road, we will put a railway near that road so that we can be able to run around with our resources. Next to it, we can put a power transmission because we have energy resources. We have the Mambila, we have the Kiri, we have Dadinkowa, we have solar, and then next to it, we put an irrigation canal around this roundabout so that our agriculture will be totally throughout their production through irrigation. We will bury a 2-meter diameter pipe and get potable water so that every state will now supply potable water. And we will bury a fiber optic cable so that we can automate our operations in the region. If we do this, we have changed the Northeast forever. Potiskum will become a city. Maiduguri will become a mega city. Yola will become a fantastic city. Gombe, maybe a smaller city, but a fantastic city. You know, and now that is unlocked. If we talk to Benue State and Cross River State, we could actually open that ring so that the same infrastructure will hit Cross River, and you have changed Nigeria forever. Because Lagos will be on the other side, Cross River will be on this, and they will take advantage. So, Your Excellency, we have even put a timeline on this. We can do it if we are very serious up to 2021. And we also said that everything that you see, whether it's the road or railway, if it is going to be manufactured, let the partnership and investment companies, China or Canada or whatever, come and invest. Then we can create highway jobs. Then we can utilize our technocrats. Then our universities will be useful. Our polytechnics will revamp. And Your Excellency, we believe that this is possible and we can attain this. Final takeaway, Your Excellency, we are getting recognized nationally and internationally. The international donor agencies have recognized Adamawa State as the leading state committed to ending IDP syndrome and restoration of livelihood in return communities because they've seen what we have done. The World Bank has recognized our primary health care as the best in Nigeria. And also our House of Assembly sitting here. They've given us here a letter, which is a vote of confidence letter. They said, Governor and your team, continue to do whatever you want. Anytime we start problems of legislature against executive, show us the paper, and then we'll go back to Assembly and then do that. So we have a cover until we finish. He became the leadership governor in 2016. Just last week, Your Excellency, you sent the SGF to go and honor him as the NTA best performing governor in infrastructure development. And then this is what I present to you as the Buhari Bindo for social change. That fingers up is the mark for that. It's called hash consensus. I'm happy to report to you that we have decided. In Adamawa State, Buhari and Bindo is totally good. Your ministers came here, they agreed to that. The ladies in Adamawa State, they are all here, they've agreed to hash consensus. Lawyers came here to have a conference, hash consensus. The military also agrees to that. Even Papa Ajasko, when he came here, he said hash consensus, and so on and so forth. So, Your Excellency, the royal fathers, I could not get them to lift the fingers, so I put fingers because I know they agreed to this hash consensus. So, Your Excellency, you have seen where we are coming from. You've seen some of what we have done in 2 years, 8 months, and 22 days today. We are strategic and focused. We are prudent. We are transparent. We are not corrupt. We are fair and just. Our citizens are excited. If, based on what you have been doing to us, we are Oliver Twist. If you motivate us more, Your Excellency will do better. I hope my assignment by my governor to deliver a paper to titled Delivery of Good Governance through Innovative Anti-Corruption Practice, the Adamawa State Model, I have delivered. Thank you, Your Excellency, and I wish you all the best.
Can we please put our hands together properly for Dr. Umar Buba Bindir? Thank you very much. The EFCC chairman sent me a paper. He said I should read out something, and I'm afraid of reading it. Not because of what is written on the paper, but because of what may happen as a result of what is written in the paper. Your Excellency, the EFCC chairman said I should remind this gathering that it is exactly a month today that His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, was appointed the icon of anti-corruption in Africa. 1 month down the line, 2 African heads of states or heads of government have resigned. President Zuma has resigned in South Africa due to corruption, and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia has resigned. My fear in reading that is that I hope when my governor finishes speaking, the president will not appoint him anti-corruption crusader in Nigeria, and I start having governors resigning. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. At this juncture, it is my honor and pleasure to very respectfully request and invite the son who is like the father, the man who has understood the secret of the Buhari mantra. Buhari came to Yola to pick a wife, he went to Daura to pick a wife. May we please invite and request His Excellency Governor Muhammad Umaru Jibrila Bindo to come and speak.
Your Excellency, our father, my father, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellencies, my dear colleagues, the Governor of Kaduna and the Governor of Bauchi, Senator Binta, that is here present, members of the House of Reps that are here present, the chairman of this occasion, my father, the Lamido of Adamawa, and the other 7 first-class emirs that are here present. Let me also, my brother, my uncle, the SDF, and of course, our brother, our senior brother, the Minister of FCT, who is also a governor on the other side, but not elected, but appointed by our president. Other ministers that are here present, let me sincerely stand on the already existing protocol. I was given only 5 minutes to welcome our father, the president, and also make a vote of thanks within 5 minutes. I want to also recognize my brother, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adamawa State, and the entire members of the House. Before I make my welcome address, let me humbly commend our father, the President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for being highly committed in fighting the insurgency, not only in Adamawa State, but in the entire Northeast. Mr. President, it is mandatory on us to continue praying for you, like what my SSG has just stipulated. Without your support, and of course the support of Almighty Allah, I don't think
we in Adamawa State will know where we are. Maybe we're out of Nigeria by now, but honestly, we are very, very happy with your services, and we are very grateful for all your support, especially now that you have ascended on the bill on the Northeast Development Commission, which you have given the chairmanship to Adamawa State. We are very grateful for that. Your Excellency, welcome. First of all, let me declare that our president is not more from, his state of first origin is not Katsina, is Adamawa State. Because everybody is where his wife is, first of all say he's from that state. So, Mr. President, from now on, Adamawa State is your first state, sir. And simply because our mother is here, and all of your good friends are from Adamawa State. So, I've declared that. Mr. President, before I go to the topic of discussion today, that is the Anti-Corruption Summit. This is the first state that organized this anti-corruption. It's not a popular thing to do, I know. Anti-corruption is not popular for a lot of people, but we have to borrow it from our president. We all know your vision, sir. We know your mission. You know your ideology. Everybody that knows our president, President Muhammad Buhari, knows his reputation, has preceded him when it comes to integrity, hard work, dedication, and that is why he's been very committed to see Nigeria is out of recession, and we are happy to announce that economically and otherwise Nigeria, we are good to go in terms of economy, and that is why a lot of people are very jittery and worried for the second time that you are about to come, because they know the anti-corruption crusade that you are on is not an easy thing, and people in position, I have to a little bit divert, because once you are in a position, especially a governor, you should know you've been honored by Almighty Allah to serve. You should be a leader. You are not going to be a ruler. You are not supposed to be a ruler. Once you are in a position of authority, you should be able to know you are a leader. And that is what we've been emulating from our father, the president. Anti-corruption is all about transparency, accountability. And now that we are in Adamawa State, my SSG has just finished giving us a very brilliant PowerPoint. This is just a synopsis of what we've been doing. It's just 10% because we don't have much time. But how I wish Mr. President will come back, even to come and commission most of the roads that we have done. We've been able to construct over 315 roads now within just 2.5 years. I think it's something that Adamawa indigenes should be able to appreciate. Mr. President, I cannot thank you enough, honestly, because you have done so much for us. The entire 36 governors are very appreciative of what you have done, from the Paris Club to bailout. Without that kind of magnanimity, I think we will not be able to know how we can even pay the rare salary areas that we have made. But courtesy of your humility and concern to the people of Nigeria, you've been able to get us out of all this mess that we have found ourselves. Mr. President, I am now overwhelmed with certain high eminent of personalities that are here, from General Tarfa, who is your cosmate, from General Hanania. I don't know who is senior. Some people say he's senior, he's 6 months, and I think maybe he's senior, I'm 6 months. I don't know, but a lot of your mates that are retired generals are here. Ahmed Joda, who is a gentleman, is our father. He has been with us. The former governor of this state, Saleh Michika, is here. I have Dan Suleiman, who is our father, who is always supporting our cause. My father, the traditional father of this state, the Lamido, with all the emirs that are here. I just trying to use the 5 minutes that I've been given to thank everybody and recognize those that are supporting Adamawa State and supporting this government. that I'm sure we've not been disappointed by the issues that are on deck when we came in. At this point, let me once more thank our President, wish him all the best. May Allah Almighty give you more health, give you more wisdom, so that you can serve this country as we all know you always do, and serve the masses as you always do. I thank you very much, and may the Lord Almighty take you back home safely. Thank you very much, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am not too satisfied with the clapping, please. Can you put your hands properly for the governor? Anche kyan daya gaji ubansa. Your Excellency, I'm sure wannan dan naka ya gaje ka. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, it is my honor and pleasure, and indeed privilege, to invite the President, Commander-in-Chief, the Liberator of the Northeast, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, to please rise up and address this gathering. May we all rise as a mark of respect, please. Hands together for Mr. President, please, until he begins to talk. Thank you very much.
Please sit down. Please sit down. Okay. Your Excellency, the Governor of Adamawa State, Your Excellency, the Governors of Kaduna and Bauchi States, the members of the National Assembly, the Senate, House of Representatives, honorable ministers, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Chairman of the occasion, Alhaji Ahmed Joda, top government functionaries, the royal fathers and the elder statesmen, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think after the presentation by the Secretary to the Government, I wouldn't like to sound like a broken gramophone record. In fact, I don't know whether I should go to the text and read it or just regurgitate what I can offhand for you to pick what you want. But I don't like to spend my time because if I had seen the presentation of the Secretary to the Government, I wouldn't have accepted the invitation to be here. I think the best way out is to try and remember what he said and emphasize on what is very favorable to this government, the state government. I think you may recall on the 29th of May 2015 when I stated that we are faced with enormous challenges in this country, with insecurity, institutionalized pervasive corruption being key, and that my confidence remained high that together we will tackle them head on. As I had predicted, today I am proud to note that we have not relented in our determination to fight corruption. We are fixing our problems together. Even though under our system, the federal government cannot directly interfere in the details of the operations of states, but to see that the gross corruption at the local level is being checked and transparently reported is a scene of satisfaction and joy for me. We will try to ensure that there is more responsible and accountable governance at all levels
of government in this country. I note with satisfaction the logical steps taken by Adamawa State government in the last 2.5 years to demonstrate that transparency, fiscal responsibility, accountability, and timely delivery of strategic goods and services to develop the state and enhance the confidence of the people is a viable template to fighting corruption. Teamwork, cordial relationship between the executive and the legislature, the respect and compliance with fiscal and procurement laws, the institutional reforms to improve efficiency, the drive to achieve value for money, as demonstrated by the administration, is worthy of note. I recommend to other states this model along with all the winning approaches to enhance the progress and development of our nation. The projects and progress I have seen in Yola, along with the reports and presentations made here, have given me encouragement on the future of this state. I hope this momentum will be sustained. To the government of Adamawa State, I say well done and keep it up, in quotes. To the people of Adamawa State, I congratulate you all for supporting the government and encouraging you to continue to give your maximum support to the state government in its drive for a much better future. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But can I request you to please once again properly put your hands together for Mr. President? I'm watching those who are not clapping very well from here. Please, can we clap properly for Mr. President? Thank you very much. Mr. President, we're indeed very grateful. We have almost come to the end of this ceremony, but there is a request for a group photograph, Mr. President, if you so agree. The photograph will be taken just here with Mr. President, the host governor of Adamawa State, visiting governors of...
All is well, they say, that ends well. That has been the declaration of the anti-corruption summit convened by the Adamawa State government, which has been just declared open by the President of the Federal Republic, President Muhammadu Buhari. In his address, he acknowledged the giant strides of the Adamawa State government towards the delivery of development infrastructure and the stance of the government with respect to the fight against corruption. That's all we have for you. That's about the end of the opening ceremony of the summit. The business session would continue in just a moment. At this juncture, we are seeing the dignitaries coming in felicitation with the president and getting set for photograph with Mr. President. And that marks the end of the opening session of this anti-corruption summit convened by the Adamawa State government.
Once you are ready, the president... I think the Lamido can go further down. The Lamido should go further inwards. Mr. President, you have allayed my fears. Mr. President, no, not the national anthem. It's group photograph, not the national anthem, please. We're taking a group photograph before the national anthem. I will ask you when to play the national anthem. Please. Please wait for me. I will give you the signal. Thank you very much. Are we okay? I have, before we get the national anthem, let me inform this gathering that Mr. President by his address has declared our summit open. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Please, may we have the national anthem? May we all rise for the national anthem? Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, our respected governors from Adamawa, Kaduna, and Bauchi State.